So it's been another few months and we are still in a position where the iPhone 14 Plus isn't really being talked about at all, and it still seems like everyone has forgotten about pretty much the newest iPhone. If you really want to look at the release time frame of all the iPhones that have came out, technically speaking, the iPhone 14 Plus is actually the newest iPhone. I mean, that one just came out, I think, like in October. And the fact that this iPhone is still pretty much not being talked about at all is not that, it's not out of the ordinary. I was expecting this iPhone to not be that popular, but historically, if we kind of take a look at some iPhones that Apple released a little bit later on, sometimes those devices have a longer throughput or they have a lot more people talking about them than at least with the 14 Plus. I've never seen an iPhone drop like this. Even the iPhone SE3 earlier this year still gets talked about and still gets mentioned every, time to time. The iPhone 14 Plus, it's like everyone kind of forgot about this device. Now, if I go and step back, the first time I can think of when Apple released two iPhones, separated from each other was probably the iPhone 10. There may have been a time before that, but the iPhone 10 came out like a month or something after the iPhone 8 and 8 Plus came out. And during that time, I think a lot of people didn't really think the iPhone 10 was a bad phone. They just thought it was overexpensive. That's kind of what the consensus was at that time. But that phone kind of stood the test of time and it became a really good selling, maybe not the best selling iPhone, but it was a really good iPhone. The year after, Apple started selling the iPhone XR, and the iPhone XR came out, the same exact way, like a month and a half after the iPhone XS and XS Max, and that iPhone sold very, very well. We haven't really seen iPhone do that again since the 12 mini and the 12 Pro Max. They ended up selling those iPhones, quite a bit of time after the 12s came out, and it was more or less the same exact thing. They dropped those devices, they waited, and then, people ended up buying them or not buying them. The Pro Maxes don't really sell too well. The Minis didn't sell too well either. And that's where we kind of saw this, the pendulum swinging a little bit of how these iPhones are probably, if they go ahead and do it like a delayed launch like this, typically those iPhones probably are going to be talked about too much. And now with a 14 Plus, it's more or less the same exact thing. This iPhone, it's so crazy how often I even forget about this device. And I bought this thing, I've reviewed it, I've compared it a ton of times. And just based off those, just based off the release date, as well as the shipping times for the 14 Plus compared to the 14 Pro or 14 Pro Max, it is crazy to see how, soon you can get a 14 Plus. You can probably walk into your Apple Store or Best Buy and go ahead and buy an iPhone 14 Plus. There's no delay for it. With the 14 Pro and 14 Pro Max, completely different story. That device is pretty much sold out everywhere, and that is pretty much the situation we're at now. Not really too many people are buying the 14 Plus, but if you own the 14 Plus, I would personally love to hear your thoughts and opinion on that device. So let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that'll mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.